Hi, I'm Simon with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we're going to show you how to repair your appliance. Are you ready? Remember, anytime you work on your appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we'll show you how to replace the check valve in the Samsung washer. It's going to be a very easy repair. Should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. For this job, we're going to need a Phillips and a flathead screwdrivers and a pair of pliers. When you open up the package, you're going to get a new check valve. The check valve is installed at the end of the discharge port of the drain pump in order to prevent dirty water from getting back into the washer. If at the end of the drain cycle there is still some smelly water inside the inner basket, the check valve is most likely damaged and should be replaced. To get the top off, we need to unscrew the steel screws. We're going to use the Phillips screwdriver and just take them out. To take the top off, slide it back about an inch, and then we can lift it off. I'm going to start with removing this clamp from the hose. Just squeeze it and slide it up. It's not hard. Then we're going to remove the hose. Let's remove the dispenser drawer out. Press the tab and pull it out. Remove this hose from the dispenser housing. To take out the housing, we need to remove the two Phillips screws here, and then we can pull it out. Slide it out. And I'm going to flip it over and put it out of the way. To remove completely the control panel, we need to take a couple of more Phillips screws. Lift up on the control panel. Turn it towards yourself and disengage the bottom clips. We need to disconnect all the plugs to free the control panel. So we're going to start with the top. This is a relay. Press in the tab and lift it off. Then I'm going to free the wire from the clips here. Second one is right there. Then the third one. Support the control panel, and there's nothing else is holding it, no more. And the last plug, and now we can remove the control panel. Now we can open the door and then remove the boot spring clamp. We're gonna peel it up a little bit, then I'm gonna use a flat blade screwdriver to pry it out. There's a spring at the bottom. And here's the clamp. Remove the boot seal from the lip. And tack it in. These two Phillips screws are holding the door lock, so I'll remove that screws to free the door lock from the front panel. And close the door. Tuck the harness out of the way. And then we're going to remove the 4 Phillips screws that holds the front panel at the top. To open the door, we push down that little tab and it just gets open. So now we're going to need to take this off the hinges, pressing the hinge in pressing the hinge in, the door comes off. Remove the pump drain hose from the retainer. To avoid the mess, I suggest you to put a towel on the floor. Then we're going to use a container to collect the water from this drain hose. Pull out the cap and drain the water. All right, now I think we can cap off this drain hose. And we don't need a towel anymore, we can take it off. And now we're going to take out the two Phillips screws that holds the front panel to the chassis. At this point, the front panel is held in place by these two tabs at the top and three hinges at the bottom. So we're going to open the door, lift up on the front panel to release the two tabs. Then we're going to close the door, tilt the panel towards you, and lift it off the bottom hinges. Let's put the towel here behind the pump. We drain the water out, but in case if there's still some water in there in the back. And then we're using the pliers. I'm gonna squeeze and move this clamp and disconnect the hose. Next thing would be the going back here, squeezing and sliding this clamp and removing this hose. And there's a little bit of water in there. And finally, reaching back, and we're going to squeeze that third clamp, the drain hose clamp, with the pliers. Slide it and pull the hose off the pump. It's probably going to have some water in there. Ooh, yes, it has some water. All right. These two screws on the front, the two Phillips screws, hold the pump. So I'm going to take them out. Push the pump back as far as it can go to disengage the mount at the bottom, and then we can theoretically we can easily lift the pump off. There you go. Take it out. And some water. Okay, and we can easily replace the check valve. We're going to use the flathead screwdriver to pry the old check valve of the drain pump. Clean that port. Prepare the seat for the new one. This is the old check valve next to the new one. If you don't have this part, you can get it from appliancepartspros.com. Here we have a new check valve, and I'm going to slide it over the edge. And now we can reinstall the pump. Put this wire harness under the clip here. Slide the pump in. Put that little pump hose through the opening. So this mounting bracket is supposed to go inside the cutout. The hoses should be out of the way. Put it down and slide it forward to lock. So now we can secure the pump with the 2 Phillips screws. Align the holes. First we're going to connect the drain hose. Slide it on the drain port. Then we're going to slide the clamp closer. Then using the pliers, squeeze the clamp. And slide it on. Next would be the top 2 pump hose. Slide it on. As you can see, that little cutout in hose matched with this rib on the top of the pump port. And this actually hose clamp is quite soft, so I can use my fingers to squeeze it and move. If you can't, then use the pliers. And the third hose goes on the top. That would be our last hose that connects to the pump. And the same clamp also, I can squeeze it with my fingers. It's quite soft. Slide it down and secure the hose. And we can wipe out that here, the floor and the base of the washer, and remove the towel. Place the pump wire harness into the retainer. The front panel goes back on. I'm going to insert the drain hose into the opening and lift up on the panel. Place it on the hinges at the bottom. Push it forward so it will lock on the top tabs. And secure the panel with the 2 Phillips screws at the bottom. Place the pump drain hose into the retainer. Make sure it's not going anywhere. And this is the time for the door to go back on. Install 1 hinge at a time. Push it in. And then just close the door. Secure the front panel to the bracket with 4 Phillips screws. Open the door. Reach inside and fish out the door lock assembly, and put it in, and then we're going to secure it with the 2 Phillips screws. Let's install the boot seal. I'm going to pull it out. We have to install this lip over that front panel's lip. Don't rush, take your time. Make a visual check that it's installed properly. Now we're going to install the boot spring clamp with the spring at approximately 6 o'clock. Put it in, then hold it. Jam the flathead screwdriver approximately 2 o'clock here, and then stretch the spring and place the spring clamp in with the flathead screwdriver. Make sure it's in the groove all around the seal. Then pull the seal. Pull hard. You don't want to have your laundry room flooded. All right, you can close the door now. Bring in and install the control panel. We're going to start with connecting all the wire plugs. We cannot possibly mix them around because they're all different. And continue plugging it in. put it under the under the retainer. And the last one. Turn it over. Make sure that there's no hanging connectors around. Everything is attached. Then we're going to match the pins with the cutouts. Turn it forward. Press in the bottom. And then we're going to secure it with the Phillips screws. And now we can install the dispenser back. I'm going to put this tab into the cutout and this tab into the upper cutout. And now we can put 2 Phillips screws in. Let's put the hose back into the dispenser housing. Push it into the clips here. And the dispenser door goes back in. We're going to place those 2 edges into the cutouts and push it in. Let's connect this hose to the tub. Push it on. Make sure it slides on all the way, sits perfect. Then the clamp goes on. Squeeze it. Well, you know what, I'm going to use both hands, but you pretty much understand what I'm doing. Push it down. Now we can put the top back on, install it approximately an inch away from the front panel. Then we're going to slide it forward and it locks in. Let's secure the top to the cabinet with 2 Phillips screws. Plug the washer in and make sure it runs good. Thank you for being a part of another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. For any of your future appliance repair projects, please check out our other videos available on our site, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram.